Investors and traders, welcome to the channel. Today is 12th of June 2024. I hope everyone is having a great day. We will be taking a look at the US key markets in this video segment. As always, this video is for educational purposes only and it is not a financial advice. So today was the Fed Day. Federal Reserve came out with their FOMC meeting announcement. And what we have is actually a rate which was unchanged. So funds rate, remains at 5.5%. And what the Federal Reserve was indicating was maybe there's going to be another further cut in 2024, and moderate impact or moderate progress for inflation. And also what we had is we had the CPI figures coming out today. So core CPI, and the CPI month on month and CPI year on year. And the CPI figure was actually fairly positive news in the sense that it was in line, or the core CPI was actually 0.2%, and the CPI month on month was actually unchanged. So this is what we have seen in the market actually exploding. S&P 500 making new highs. So we'll discuss that further. Tomorrow is also a really important data which is coming out. So tomorrow we will have the PPI come out on the core PPI. With the time you see 1:30 p.m. because I'm based in the United Kingdom. So this is the British summertime BST, but it should be 8:30 in the morning Eastern time in New York. Okay, so we'll start by actually taking a look at the stock of Apple. Here we go. So over the weekend, we had done a video on the key US tech stocks, and Apple was the first stock we were covering, and we mentioned about the artificial intelligence, which they like to call the Apple intelligence, and the developers conference that they were doing over the Monday we just passed. And initially the market did not react that well to that day. So this is the Monday, 10th of June. The following day on Tuesday, look at this. I don't think I've seen Apple rise this much, at least in the recent history. So just looking at these bars, it's just pretty amazing for a stock of this market cap to move like this. But we have seen moves like this in Nvidia, for example. So is Apple sort of becoming the Nvidia, or is likely to take its crown back in terms of the market capitalization from Microsoft and Nvidia? So it's really interesting. What I did not like is how today's bar actually gave up about 50% of it. So on the weekly chart, we were looking at for about the target of 235 roughly around here. And just to show you this is the 1.618 expansion as a target. That's for this entire BC swing. That's 2022 bear market. We have this for a long time, and the market went there and it just pulled back, and so we have a slew of resistance, which could be major or minor. Major because of this 1.618 expansion, but the ABCD calls for about 237. So 235 could be a target, but it's really interesting, how quickly Apple just moved, and just this week, it's just 2 trading days. This artificial intelligence or Apple intelligence is going to be a key thing for Apple, and maybe the market was also reacting to that. Okay, so now we'll start by taking a look at S&P 500 cash. This is a daily chart for that. And really interesting is that it actually went right to the, it blew past this 1.618 extension for this black ABCD we're looking at. So that's the extension of that, and then it went pretty much to the 1.618 expansion of this from April to, or end of March, pullback that we had ending on 19th of April. So this is what we were also watching. It's just it just reached that quite quickly actually, and the ES really strong. And the ES, what we see is actually also went to 1.27 to expansion. So we have seen the cash market being a little bit stronger, or actually meeting our Fibonacci expansion figures before the SPX futures, and the futures also reached that. 55.68 is also the candidate, and that should be a level, because we also have an ABCD completing there, so it could be, a level which could have some strong resistance because of two patterns coming together, one ratio expansion and the ABCD being pretty close. And then if we take a look at NDX, which is the NASDAQ 100 cash, and there we go. It just went past above the 1.618. ABCD points a little bit higher. QQQ, here we go. QQQ also went to a little above the 1.618 expansion. We had these as targets. And if we take a look at the XLK, wow, what a move in XLK. So I'm pretty sure it's right to the 1.618 expansion. Yeah, it just reached that. And if you look at the futures, these are the NASDAQ 100 futures. Wow, uh, really very strong 1.618. It's pretty much there. I believe this is the futures just opening there. So yeah, with a gap this big, pretty strong gap. How many? If this data is correct, I'm not entirely sure. It's what we are looking at, 600 roughly. Wow, 200 points. Wow, wow. So we have a ABCD a little bit higher. If we'll just take a look at this on the weekly chart, just as a reminder, something we were watching for a very long time. Well, not that long to be honest, just 2024. 1.618 expansion of this entire bear market of 2022 comes around 20,750. At one point, it did look like something which would take quite a long time to reach, or maybe never reach. But it looks pretty much inside. It's just about 1,000 points, less than 1,000 points in NASDAQ now. So we'll have this big ABCD completing there as well. So it's gonna be a very interesting spot to look at, longer term. So really interesting the way the market is moving. Kind of gives interesting vibes. And especially if it begins to move in gaps. Wow. Okay, and now let's take a look at the E-mini Dow Jones. Now this market is doing something very different. Look how weak this market is. NASDAQ, S&P 500 making new highs. This market is just stuck in a range. So it's really interesting. Dow Jones is kind of the older economy kind of stocks, doing something different. And don't see. Oh well, I do see. I'm not sure about this print, so I'm not gonna take it. But if it is gonna open here, that's a massive gap. If the market begins to move in gaps like this, wow, those are. Well, we'll send it for another time. Okay, so keeping an eye on this one. And if we were to look at the Dow Jones Industrial cash market, here we go. We had a little bit of timing come in as well, so this is actually closing lower today. So yeah, there is it's really a bifurcated market. The growth stocks market doing something different. S&P 500 really broad market doing something different to the 30 stocks, which are also price weighted. And if we were to look at some stocks within this, is JP Morgan. I did an analysis for this for JP Morgan over the weekend, and we looked at really long-term cycles on monthly for JP Morgan. So JP Morgan over the course of last couple of days is actually closing lower, right at the 89 period moving average. So in my opinion, that should be a support level because of this moving average. In terms of retracement, let's see what sort of retracement we might be looking at. Here we go. About 50%. But this 89 period moving average it's a spot. If not, then this could be a target for 38.2% retracement. Really long term, just really want to quickly reiterate this what we were looking at on the monthly. This one is actually a log chart, I believe, and on the monthly chart we have this big massive ABCD pattern in green completed actually. And what I was mentioning was that between 200 to 225, I think the stock is actually going to go into a range, a fairly wide range. I'm giving 200 to 225. But look at this stock since 2009 bottom. It's been really, really strong. People have held this stock, and the catalyst is that the hero manager, Mr. Diamond, he might be looking for to actually leave from the company, per his own words. So yeah, this is well, watch that video. I'll put a link to it towards the end of this video. And if we look at Russell 2000, here we go. Russell 2000 stronger than Dow Jones. Really, really interesting thing to watch. So tried to make an attempt to move higher, but sellers came in, so they've kind of capped it right here at this resistance level. But really interesting because one way to look at this is I would have drawn a line like this. So maybe a break above this one is actually kind of breaking out of this flag formation. So we can draw this flag formation like this. Well, it's more of a wedge the way I've drawn it, but if you were to draw something parallel, it would be something like this. Actually, why not get rid of it and bring it here like this. So yeah, that could be like a bull flag formation. And looking at IWM, here we go. This cash index closed negative for the day. And if we were to look at NYA, New York Stock Exchange Composite Index, still finding support for 89 period moving average. There's 61.8%, and I believe there's also 61.8%. What's the other average around there? 61, and this one is 50% of this. It's providing pretty good support for the moment. And there is a potential for like a wedge kind of a formation also forming here. And if you were to also draw a line like this, so again, interesting junctures it is at. Short video today, just wanted to reiterate the kind of levels that we were looking at for some of those markets such as S&P 500, NASDAQ 100. Those targets have met and exceeded in terms of 1.272, and then for the cash markets even going to 1.618, reaching there in some cases. This is QQQ, XLK, maybe exceed a little bit. For in terms of timing, Dow Jones, I've just shown you that chart where we mentioned that there's a minor timing coming in, and the Dow Jones is not closing higher. It's doing something different. So the timing analysis is based on the Dow Jones. What I am looking at is that I believe in the next 2 to 3 weeks we should begin to resolve all of this, what we see between different indices, and maybe Dow Jones join the other broader indices in a rally, or we'll find out. I think early July should be a pretty interesting time frame, and we have key timing coming in on the 1st of July 2024. With that, thank you very much for watching the video, and if you like if you find this video of educational value, give it a thumbs up. If you like our analysis, please subscribe to the channel, and speak to you guys soon. Good luck and good trading, and speak to you guys soon.